Hey everybody, we're back here, Algebra 1A. We're going over some very fundamental things, and today it's going to be order of operations, so let's get started. The first thing I want you to do is take out a piece of paper or your notebook and make sure that you're taking notes on this stuff, okay? So number one, we're looking at the EQ. It says, how do I use order of operations? What is it? Well, when you have different types of problems and you're getting into algebraic equations where you're trying to solve different types of, in this case, arithmetic problems, what you're going to want to do is use the order of operations. There's a specific way that you do those things, okay? So you can't just read it, you can't just solve problems left to right like reading a book. What you have to do is actually find out what sets precedent, what's first, what's second, third, and so on. So that's what we're going to go over. So first thing I want you to do is to remember PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It's a good way to remember how it works, or you can just remember PEMDAS. Okay, I say PEMDAS a lot, but if you can't remember that, you just remember please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so the first step, number one, is if there's any parentheses in the problem, you're going to want to make sure to do those first. So I'm going to keep this up the entire lesson so you can make sure that I can always reference it. First thing we're going to look for is parentheses. If there's any parentheses inside those parentheses, we're going to then reset PEMDAS. So if there's parentheses in the parentheses, do those first. If there's exponents in the parentheses, do that second, and so on and so forth inside the parentheses. Okay. Second thing you're going to take care of is exponents. So anytime you have a number or a variable, normally it's going to be a number, but if you have a variable, that's fine too. It's that exponent. That's a small number, a little number right above it that's going to that you're going to have to work out. Okay. Then the third step is both multiplying and dividing. So like reading a book, whatever comes first, left to right. Okay, left to right. That's what you're going to do. If a division problem comes before multiplication, do that. If multiplication comes before division, do that. But the third step is multiply, divide. And then the last thing you do is you add and subtract. Okay, and the same exact concept. It's the fourth step. It's from left to right, left to right. Okay, so make sure that you're doing that. And I'm gonna put that subtraction sign right there. Okay, so that's where we get it. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's why I put that there. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some basic problems here. We've got 5 times 8 minus 12 divided by 3. You might see some of this on maybe Facebook or something. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the problems here. So we have no parentheses. So number one, there's no parentheses. There's no exponents. But we do have multiplication and division. So you've got multiplication here and division here. We're going to do that before we even step into this subtraction problem. So the first thing I want you to do is we're always going to make these problems like a funnel. Okay, so they're just going to be stacked right on top of each other until we get the answer down here. It's just all going to go down to the problem. You want to be step by step by step, so make sure you do that. So here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 5 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40, and then what you do is you copy the rest of the problem down. So 40 minus 12 divided by 3. Now, if you were to go 40 minus 12 first, that's not actually the accurate way to do it. You need to do, remember, multiplication and division. So division is before subtraction. So right here we've got multiplication, division, step 3, and then we have addition, subtraction. So you don't want to do the subtraction first. You actually want to do the division. So we'll bring down the 40, and we're going to subtract 12 divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 4, so we go 40 divided by, or 40 minus 4, okay? And then the only thing left is your answer. So 40 minus 4 is 36. And that is your answer. Okay? All right, number 2. We've got 3 times 4 plus 10 divided by 2. So it's kind of the same exact problem, except for instead of a subtraction problem, we got an addition problem there in the middle. So we go through the same thing. PEMDAS, parentheses. There's no parentheses. Exponents, there's no exponents. Is there multiplication and division? Yes, there is. We'll deal with those first. So we do that left to right, like reading a book. Okay, so what comes first? It's this multiplication problem. So 3 times 4 is 12. And then we just bring everything else down. 12 divided by, plus 10 divided by 2. Now, instead of doing that addition problem, you're going to want to do that division problem first. Okay? So we'll go 12 plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, now we have 12 plus 5. That's the only thing we have left. That'll be 17. All right. Okay, now, and I think you gotta like this. It goes down to a solution. That's kind of how you want to do it. It's just all going down to one point. And then if maybe you don't get the problem right, you can go back up and see where you made your mistake. You don't want to just jump steps. You want to go one step at a time very thoroughly. Okay, number 3. We've got 20 plus 16 divided by 4 minus 2 times 9. Woo! So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 operations. You got all 4 of the operations in there. But there are no, first of all, there are no parentheses. Okay, so we're going to go outside of the parentheses. All right, and I'm going to get some different colors in here. Okay, so let's go, there's no exponents, so then it's multiplication, division. Right here, division is before multiplication going left to right, like reading a book. So we're going to deal with that division problem first. Okay, so everything else comes down. So we've got 20 plus 16 divided by 4 is 4, minus 2 times 9. Okay, now we have an addition, subtraction, and a multiplication problem. We're going to do the multiplication first. So everything else comes down. 20 plus 4 minus 2 times 9 is 18. All right, so there we go. Now, oh, I screwed up on that, but that's fine. I try to change colors each step, but that's fine. Now we've got an addition and subtraction problem, and it's just left to right. So you go left to right reading a book. So 20 plus 4 is 24, minus 18. 24 minus 18 is 6. Done. Okay, so that is coming down like that. All right, cool. So make sure you take those notes. I'm going to put some more. All right, so number 4, we've got 6 plus 9 divided by 3 minus 1. So first thing we're going to do is no parentheses, no exponents, multiplication, division. There's one division problem. So we're going to bring everything down. Plus 9 divided by 3 is 3, minus 1. Okay, 6 plus 3 is 9. So we'll do that. And that equals, and I don't want to get too far down, so I can just go like this, equals 8. Now, I always box mine. If you want to circle it, that's fine, but it's always good to show your solution because there might be a lot of stuff going on. Make sure you tell everybody what your solution is. So my answer is 8. Box it in, circle it, whatever you want to do. Okay, so here we go. Here's another one. You got 18 divided by 2 plus 8 divided by 4 minus 5 plus 16 divided by 8 times 2. Woo! That's a lot of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through it. No parentheses, no exponents, and there is division and multiplication. We'll do that left to right like reading a book. Okay, 18 divided by 2 is 9 plus 8 divided by 4 minus 5 plus 16 divided by 8 times 2. Okay, so now we'll go the next one. So you don't do the addition, you're going to do this one, which is a division problem. So you go 9 plus 8 divided by 4 is 2 minus 5 plus 16 divided by 8 times 2. Okay? So let's do the next one here. We've got 16 divided by 8. So we go 9 plus 2 minus 5 plus 16. Nope. 16 divided by 8 is 2 times 2. Okay? Now, go back to purple. We've got 9 plus 2 minus 5 plus 2. Nope. Get rid of that. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, now we just add them all together, left to right. 9 plus 2 is 11. Minus 5 plus 4. Okay. And then we've got 11 minus 5 is 6. Plus 4. And our final answer would equal 10. Boom. Coming down. Okay, step by step. We never skipped a step. We just went step by step by step. Make sure you take those notes. Now we're going to do one more with parentheses, with exponents. All right, here's the last example we're going to do. You're not going to get any of this type of stuff on your homework, but I just wanted to touch on it. I'm not going to do exponents because that's the next problem we're going to do, the next unit we're going to do, not unit, but lesson. So what we're going to do is just add some parentheses, okay? So first thing we have is parentheses, so we got to take care of what's in the parentheses first. And I'm just going to take care of both of them in the same fell swoop, so we don't have to go 2 steps on this. So we got 6 plus 2 inside the parentheses, so that's going to be 8 minus 8 divided by 4 times 3 minus 10 times 3 is 30 divided by 2. Okay? So we got rid of the, all we did was we got rid of the 2 parentheses and we brought everything else down. Okay? So now what we're going to do is there's no exponents and there is multiplication division. So let's take care of the multiplication. You got, and just that dot, that's multiplication. But we got 4 times 3 and 30 divided by 2. Okay, so let's go 8 minus 8 minus 12 minus 30 divided by 2. Just go one step at a time. Okay. And then we'll go 8 minus 8 minus 12 minus 15. Uh-oh. Well, you guys will learn something new, maybe. Okay, now we go 8 minus 8 is 0 minus 12 minus 15. Okay, so now we're going into the negative. So now we've got negative 12 minus 15. Okay, and then let's finish it off with pink. This will be negative 27. Okay, see that little funnel? Step by step, come to your conclusion, negative 27. Okay, and if maybe you don't get the correct answer, you go back and you look, and you say, oh, it's because this. If you go step by step, you can go back and check your steps. Don't skip steps. Make sure you go step by step. And with a lined piece of paper, this is really easy. So I want you guys to make sure that you're having a great day. If you have any questions, contact me. But I hope you're having a great day and stay classy.